Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Tuesday, October 25th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be going over a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, and then running through some injuries. It's a 4-game main slate overall, so probably one that you want to play just a little bit lighter tonight, maybe get a little bit different in general, and then going over to my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. On the DraftKings side, we had point guard Trey Jones, $5,000. Looking for 25 points on him, he got to 34.75, so he was a very good hit yesterday. Then we had his teammate at shooting guard Devin Vassell, $5,400. Looking for 27 points on him, he got to 48.75, so he was a hit as well. Then a small forward, we had Duncan Robinson. He was $3,600. Looking for 18 points on him. Was kind of hoping he'd be in that starting lineup. Did not end up being in there. I said you could pivot off him yesterday if you really wanted to do so. Unfortunately, he did not end up starting. Only played 16 minutes and got to 14.75 points, so he was a miss yesterday. Then at power forward, we had Santi Aldama at $5,100. Looking for 26 points on him. He got to 27, so he was a hit once again as well. And then last but not least, we had Nikola Jokic at $10,900. Very down game for him as he had 33.25 points. He was a mess, only ended up playing 27 minutes in this game. There was some blowout run in there, and he got into some foul trouble as well. So 3 out of 5 on the DraftKings side. If your other 3 players played pretty well yesterday, you still had a chance of cashing overall. Then on the FanDuel side, we had Trey Jones as well, $5,400. Looking for 27 points on him, he got to 36.4, so he was a hit on FanDuel as well. Then at shooting guard, we had Tyrese Haliburton at $8,500. Looking for, 42 points at him, 43 points, got to 37.2, so he's a mess. Only ended up playing 31 minutes yesterday. That game was a little bit of a blowout as well. And then we had Duncan Robinson once again, $3,800. Looking for 19 points on him. He got to 13.2, so he was a miss. Obviously did not end up in that starting lineup and only played 16 minutes, as I mentioned already. Then we had Santi Aldama once again, $4,400. Looking for 22 points on him. He got to 27.8, and he was a hit on the FanDuel side as well. And then last but not least, at center, we had Kelly Olynyk at $4,800. Looking for 24 points on him. He got to 24.8, so he was a hit as well. So 3 out of 5 on the FanDuel side as well. If you had some other good plays alongside these core 5, you still had a pretty decent chance of cashing overall as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries for today's slate overall. And as I've already mentioned, it is a 4-game main slate overall. Some pretty big injuries in terms of opening up potential value throughout today, whether it's early on today or later today. Definitely going to be keeping an eye out on a couple different injuries overall. But we're going to start off with the Detroit Pistons, who are without Marvin Bagley and Alex Burks. They did get Isaiah Livers back today. He's probably just going to be a small bench piece for them once again. The Wizards are without Corey Kispert once again, so no changes there. For the Dallas Mavericks, Davis Bertans, Frank Ntilikina are both out once again. Tim Hardaway Jr. is doubtful to play, so that's one less bench piece for them overall. For the Pelicans, they're without EJ Liddell, Kira Lewis, Brandon Ingram's out in this game, so it'll be interesting to see who starts in his place. Maybe it's Devontae Graham, maybe it's Trey Murphy, maybe it's even Najee Marshall in the starting lineup. A lot that could factor in overall. We got Herb Jones and Zion Williamson, both listed as game time decisions, both questionable play. That's another spot to look out for overall today if they don't end up playing. This starting lineup's going to look a lot different and going to be some pretty good value opening up on this Pelicans team. And CJ McConnell and Jonas Valanciunas might look like better plays overall as well. Then for the Clippers, they're without Paul George and Marcus Morris. Those are the 2 big ones. So probably going to see Nick Batum in the starting lineup as well as Norman Powell. Going to be some opportunities for guys to score the ball here, especially since Kawhi Leonard's only playing about 24 minutes a game at this point in time. And Diabate and Preston are both inactive. They're probably going to the G League overall. And then we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were without Williams. And then we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey both out tonight. So going to open up some potential value there once again as well. We'll see some Trey Mann. We'll see some Aaron Wiggins, some of these other guys mixing and matching in here. But the rotation for Oklahoma City Thunder has kind of been all over the place so far this year. So not like a ton of value that you would expect missing their 2 main players. Then we move down to Golden State Warriors, who were without Andre Iguodala and Dante DiVincenzo. So DiVincenzo's kind of the newer one there. Just shortens up their bench just a little bit overall, but Steve Kerr's probably going to play a full bench either way. Then for the Phoenix Suns, Jay Crowder and Isaiah Wainwright are both out. So nothing of note there really for the Phoenix Suns once again, since Crowder's been out pretty much all year and Wainwright really doesn't play much. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today. Obviously, we're going to see whether or not Herb Jones and Zion Williamson end up starting, as well as what that starting lineup looks like overall. For the Pelicans, the Clippers starting lineup is probably going to change some things as well. Maybe Oklahoma City Thunder. Definitely a lot of updates to keep an eye on throughout the day, and I'll leave all those down in the comments as the day moves along. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Chris Paul, $7,000. Averaging just over 35 fantasy points per game on the season. Have him projected for 36 tonight. Should be a pretty back and forth pace up spot game for this Phoenix Suns team tonight. Chris Paul's going to look pretty good once again. Then at shooting guard, we got Bradley Beal at $8,400. Only averaging about 38 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Detroit Pistons tonight. Should be a pretty favorable matchup for him overall. Currently have him projected for about 41, 42 points, which makes him right around that 5X, but he does definitely offer a ton of upside as well. Then at small forward, we had Norman Powell, $4,800. Only averaging about 14 fantasy points per game on the season. Obviously, been coming off the bench. He's probably going to be in that starting lineup tonight in place of Paul George. Currently having projected for about 27 points. Offers a little bit of upside for more if he's shooting the ball well once again. Then we move down to power forward with Nick Batum. He's only $3,200. It's just a cheap play more than anything. He might split these minutes with Robert Covington, which kind of kills some of the value off either way. But you're only looking for about 16 points out. I got him projected for about 18, 19 tonight. Has a little bit of upside for more as well. Then last but not least, at the center position, going with DeAndre Ayton at $6,700. Looking for about 33, 34 points out. That's what he's averaging so far on the season. Currently have him projected for 36 points tonight. Does have some upside for more. And then I will say at the same time, if you want to play Zubac in the spot, you can definitely do that as well. If you want to play Kristaps Porzingis on the spot in DraftKings, you could definitely do that as well. Definitely a couple different options there at the center position overall. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, $19,900 remaining, just over $6,600 per player. Maybe not paying all the way up for like a Luka Doncic. If you do that, you're going to have to get really, really creative from there. But if you want to play him over Chris Paul, if you want to play him over like a Bradley Beal or somebody like that, you could definitely do that as well. But overall, probably looking a little bit more balanced build type of day. But if you want to go stars and scrubs, definitely could be the opportunities there once we see some of these starting lineups and get some more injury updates as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side, we got Reggie Jackson here at $4,500. Not been a good start to the season for him. Seems like him and John Wall are kind of splitting time, but now without Paul George out, could be more opportunities for both. Reggie Jackson's just a cheap play. Only looking for 22, 23 points on him today. Got him projected for about 25, 26. Hopefully he takes that uptick once again. If not, if you want to go to somebody else, that's definitely understandable as well. Then at shooting guard, we're going right back to Bradley Beal. As I mentioned on the DraftKings side, $7,800. We're looking for 39 fantasy points on him. Currently, I'm projected for 41 tonight. Very favorable matchup against the Detroit Pistons. Do expect him to take a step up once again tonight. Then in small forward, we got Norman Powell. He's only $3,900 on FanDuel tonight. Looking for 19, 20 points out. Currently having projected for 26 points, taking that place of Paul George tonight, and hopefully providing a good amount of offense for this Clippers team overall. Then we move down to the power forward spot. We're going to go with Kristaps Porzingis at $7,400. Another pretty advantageous spot for him against the Detroit Pistons tonight. You know, guys like Isaiah Stewart, guys like Jalen Duran, they're not going to match up too well with Kristaps Porzingis overall. Currently, I'm projected for about 38 fantasy points. When he's on, we know what he can do, and that is a ceiling of over 40 points if he gets hot and if he's playing the way that he can and taking over a game overall. If that's the case, maybe you don't want him and Bradley Beal together, but maybe you do at the same time. Then at center, once again, we have DeAndre Ayton at $7,000. Looking for 35 points on him. Currently, I'm projected for 36 fantasy points tonight. It's a decent little matchup against the Golden State Warriors. Should be able to get a ton of rebounds in this game overall, and a pretty competitive game overall, so we'll see if he gets a couple extra minutes in that case. And then at the same time, if you did not want to play DeAndre Ayton at the center position, if you want to play Kristaps Porzingis there, you can obviously do it once again. Or if you want to play Zubac there, you could play him as well. Zubac's a guy that I do like quite a bit in GPPs tonight, just because he's not going to be quite as popular as like a DeAndre Ayton, but he does offer a good amount of upside as well if he gets the minutes tonight. But with that being said, these are my core picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, October 25th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate. Obviously, it's a smaller 4-game slate, so a little bit less options to choose from, but definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. And then with that being said, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates throughout the day, as well as the starting lineups. Hopefully getting the very final one there. I know the last couple of days I haven't been able to do that, but at least the early on ones, those are going to be the ones that are really important, especially the Pelicans, the Clippers, and the Oklahoma City Thunder overall. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. At this point in time, it is NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. And then with that being said, if you are a newer current subscriber who is yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, post up weekly NFL DFS core pick videos, doing the live streams for the Monday night and Thursday night football games for a single game showdown slate, primarily focused on DraftKings. But if you guys play on FanDuel as well, try to touch that just a little bit as well. And then doing the daily NBA DFS core pick videos just like this, Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends, sometimes not. Just kind of hit or miss for the weekends overall, but Monday through Friday, you can expect these videos every single day. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.